Jaya Radha Madhava. Wow. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhani Jaya Girivaradhani. Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajana Ranjana. Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari. Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Radhe. Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. We'll read a verse from the Caitanya Charitamrita, continuing in the mood that was set yesterday by His Holiness Bhakti Mark Swami. The chapter is entitled The Ecstatic Dancing of the Lord at Rath Yatra. Anyone here Baba last from Rath Yatra? You all seem a little... Yes? Yeah, they say Hare Krishna movement, no intoxication, but I guess it's a different kind of intoxication that the devotees go through. Have you agreed? Okay, we will. This is Madhya Lila, chapter 13, the ecstatic dancing of the Lord at Rath Yatra. So our discussion today will be around Lord Caitanya, Lord Jagannath, Jagannath Puri, and such. This is text 44. We'll read a few verses just to understand how Lord Caitanya organized the chanting parties for the Rath Yatra. Maybe we can take a page out of the Caitanya Charitamrita to organize a Rath Yatra procession, because there's a lot of traffic. And so this is text 44. Kulina Gramera Eka Kirtaniya Samaja Tahannitra Karena Ramananda Setaraja. There was a Sankirtan party from the village known as Kulinagram, and Ramananda and Satyaraj were appointed the dancers in this group. Shantipurera Acharera Eka Sampradaya Achutananda Nachetata Arasa Bhagaya. There was another party that came from Shantipur and was formed by Advaita Acharya. Achutananda was the dancer and the rest of the men were singers. Kandera Sampradaya Kore Anyatra Kirtan Narahari no Chetanshi Raghunandana. Another party was formed by the people of Kanda. These people were singing in a different place. In that group, Narahari Prabhu and Raghunandan were dancing. Jagannathera age chari sampradaya gaya duipache eka sampradaya. 4 parties chanted and danced in front of Lord Jagannath, and on either side was another party. Yet another was at the rear. Shoto Sampradaya Bhaje Choda Madala Yaradvani Shuni Vaishnava Hoila Pagala. There were altogether 7 parties of Sankirtan, and each party 2 men were beating drums. Thus 14 drums were being played at once. The sound was tumultuous, and all the devotees became mad. So this Rath Yatra festival, Lord Caitanya spent the latter part of his manifest pastimes in Jagannath Puri. When the Lord comes, he has his personal desires that he wants to fulfill. His external desires is that the time to spread the Yuga Dharma, the Sankirtan movement, the holy name of Krishna, had arrived, and the Lord comes and spreads the Krishna consciousness movement, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. But also, he has his internal desires, which are mentioned in Caitanya Charitamrita, that he was desiring to understand the glory of Srimati Radharani's love, the sweetness in him that she tasted through that love. And also he wanted to understand what is the beauty, what are his own qualities, that when his devotees meditate on them, recite them, remember them, they experience greater joy. It is said by the analysis of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu himself, who is no less than God himself, when he saw the happiness of the devotees, especially the happiness of Srimati Radharani, he estimated it to be 10 million times greater than his own personal pleasure. So Krishna is famous as the supreme enjoyer. But it seems here that the supreme enjoyer was being outdone by Srimati Radharani. And the supreme enjoyer is also the supreme chore. He is the supreme criminal or thief. Because Krishna is supreme in any and all departments. So when he meditated how he could experience such joy, he understood that he would not be able to understand it save and except if he walked in the shoes of Srimati Radharani. And Srimati Radharani, being par excellence devotee and being completely dedicated to the pleasure of Krishna, would not necessarily give her mood to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because she understands this, the love she has for Krishna drives her mad, just as these devotees here are being driven mad at Rath Yatra. So she doesn't want to have Krishna embarrassed, running around in the madness of love of Krishna. People will wonder why Krishna is crying and running around mad. And the news will come out that no, Srimati Radharani gave her mood to him. So she will not give it. And Krishna wants that mood. So he must devise a plan to steal it. It is explained by Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj in one of his books how Krishna understands the heart of Radharani to be made of a particular substance. It's like honey-like. And so the heart is where we lock all our treasured items. If you look into that heart, there are even secrets that people say, no, these ones I'm taking to the grave. Eh? You know them. And Krishna knows them. So Krishna, being super soul and being all-knowing, understood in the heart of Radharani is the treasure of her life, which is Krishna Prema. And that heart is locked. And he has to find a way to break that lock and steal those treasures. And Krishna's method is that he creates separation from himself. This feeling of love in separation creates a type of heat in the body. And when that heat comes, also then that honey-like seal of the heart melts. And so the heart can be opened. And so when the heart opened, then Krishna plunged himself into the heart of Srimati Radharani and took that mood. It is said that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was speaking to Ramananda Rai, and he was asking him to give what he has realized about Krishna. And Ramananda Rai talked about Vanashram Dharma. He talked about Sarvadharmam Parityaja, give up everything, surrender to Krishna. Mahaprabhu kept on saying, tell me more, this is external. Until he started to speak about pure devotional service, ultimately going higher and higher in the group of servitors, he started to speak about the love of the gopis. Mahaprabhu, when he was about to speak about the Radharani, he said, that's enough now, no need to talk about this. And at that point, the Lord showed Ramananda Rai. Ramananda could see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a combination of Radha and Krishna. And it is said that when Ramananda Rai got to see how Krishna became or took the mood of Srimati Radharani, he fainted. He fainted. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Jyoti. He's got the mood of Srimati Radharani and the complexion. So it is said, Radha Jyoti Suvalitam, Naumi Krishna Swarupam. It is Krishna, but he is now covered in the mood and complexion of Krishna. So, Anta Krishna, Bahi Gora. Internally it's the same Sham, but externally he has taken the mood and complexion of Srimati Radharani. So, every year, Lord Chaitanya celebrated this Rath Yatra festival. The devotees would come from all over Bengal and from different parts of Puri to Jagannath Puri. Because this pastime, remember that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. And in the mood of Srimati Radharani, Lord Jagannath, on the other hand, is Krishna feeling separation from the residents of Vrindavan. It is discussed in different ways how the form of Jagannath becomes manifest of Balaram and Subhadra. One such pastime is that the residents of Dwarka, the queens, they reported that Krishna lives with us, but Krishna is unhappy, seems here in Dwarka. He sometimes seems very spaced out, like his mind is somewhere, his body is just walking around. In the night, Krishna is heard calling different names of the cows, different names of some ladies. We are serving Krishna with everything. There's nothing he doesn't get here. The best foods, the best artists, he's being fanned. So many attentive queens, but somehow or the other, he seems depressed. So there is a type of depression that is desirable to your devotees. Not this kind that has become epidemic, where individuals to varying degrees are finding that they cannot tolerate their existence here. Nothing seems to please them. They are anxious about many things. But there is the transcendental anxiety, transcendental depression, which is created in separation from devotees, that the Lord himself also experiences. But this type of depression, anxiety, brings ecstatic joy. So when the queens had reported this, that they don't know how to make Krishna jolly, they then spoke to Mother Rohini that there's something in Vrindavan of obviously that he's terribly missing. You please come and tell us the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. And so Rohini said, well, those pastimes are extra sweet. And when you hear them, you will not want to be here in Dwarka anymore. But anyhow, if you must hear, you please wait until Krishna and Balaram are not around. And then you all gather in this room, lock the door, and Subhadra, you stand at the door as guard. If you see these two boys, then you let me know so that I can stop discussing these pastimes. So Mother Rohini began to recite the childhood pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. As everyone was listening, they became so much attracted to Krishna in Vrindavan, to the cows there. Subhadra Devi herself, as she was hearing, her mind completely enchanted by the sweet pastimes of Krishna, she began to exhibit ecstatic symptoms. Her body began to transform. Her hands withdraw into her body. She broke into this divine smile, eyes completely dilated and stunned in ecstasy, immobile. Now Krishna and Balaram, like we said, they are God. Krishna knows everything. He could understand that something was happening. And so immediately said, let us go and see. When he got there, Subhadra was supposed to be the lookout, was out for the count. Mahaprabhu had taken over. So Krishna also peered into the room. When he heard the recitation of Mother Rohini, he himself became attracted to these pastimes. Because in Vrindavan, Krishna is completely free. He is loved for who he is. Like in this world, people who especially have opulence or some sort of qualification, beauty, they are always in doubt that those who claim to love them, if their love is actually genuine, or is that they love the things that they have, the position that they have. So Krishna also, he is not completely pleased by the love which is in knowledge of his opulences, but he is pleased by love which is devoid of knowledge of his position as God. So they just love me as I am, not that I am God and therefore they love me. And when he heard, and Balaram heard these pastimes, they also fell into the same ecstasy and manifested these forms where their limbs are withdrawn into the body and their eyes are wide open, big smiles on the face. And when that happened, none other than Narada Muni came to that spot. Narada Muni is like a transcendental reporter, paparazzi, gossip column. He knows everything about everything, and he moves these transcendental news from everywhere across the universe. So when he came, he saw these divine forms. And he said, "Oh, what wonderful forms. I've never seen these before." And when he uttered these words, then, the ecstasy broke. They came to external consciousness, manifesting their regular two-arm forms. But then Narada Muni folded palms. "My dear Lord, please, you should show these forms for the pleasure and the liberation of all the conditioned souls." So in this way, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra are in these transcendental forms that they have. So now when Krishna left Vrindavan, he came to Mathura to kill Kamsa, who was sent to pick them up, Akrura. The devotees of Vrindavan were completely distraught about this. They heard that Akrura had come to pick Krishna and Balaram up to take to Mathura. They were devastated. How can Krishna leave us? So hearing that he will go, the next day the chariot is parked there. Nanda Maharaj and the elders are helping to pack the chariot. The gopis are feeling that calamity is befalling us. The elders are our enemies. How are they helping to take the life of our lives out of our bodies? Generally, they keep their affection for Krishna quiet. They are young girls, they have a crush on this young boy, but it's their own quiet pastime. But now they couldn't hold back their feelings. They were meditating deeply on different aspects of Krishna's dealings with them. How his dhoti shines in the Vrindavan sun, how his earrings swing on his ears, the jokes that Krishna has told, the glances that he has given to them, holding on to Krishna for dear life through his remembrance of his pastimes. But they're seeing that he is definitely leaving, and some of them ran and threw themselves before the chariot, wanting to stop the chariot by leaving their bodies. Let my body be crushed. Because anyway, if we really had love of Krishna, why would we want to maintain these bodies? We should be ready to give them up if Krishna is leaving our association. He's going to the cities. In the cities there are all these sophisticated girls. And Krishna, he likes to make new friends. He will get there, he will forget us village girls that were worried. So anyway, Krishna, to console them, he said, I will be back. I will come back. Don't worry, I'll come back. They couldn't stop him. He left. They were looking until the dust from the chariot was no more to be seen. Now Krishna didn't go 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, 10 years. He went for a long, long time. A long, long time. And so left everyone in Vrindavan completely devastated in separation. Of course, this love and separation makes Krishna much more available to the devotees. As they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Sometimes absence is just good riddance, in this world. Out of sight, out of mind. But Krishna is such a special personality that when he is apparently away, he's not within physical proximity, then the devotees really hold on to him from within their hearts. So Krishna left for many years. This pastime of Ratha Yatra again is demonstrated that after many, many years there was talk of a solar eclipse. And because there was going to be solar eclipse, then everyone travels to a holy place. So the residents of Vrindavan said, we will go to Kurukshetra. We know that Kurukshetra is Dhammakshetra. First verse of Bhagavad Gita. So Dhammakshetra is holy place of performing religious austerities and sacrifices. So everyone from Vrindavan went to Kurukshetra. They were eagerly going there because they knew Krishna would come from Dwarka. And sure enough, they got to Kurukshetra and they saw the parties from Dwarka. But when they looked, they felt, who is this now? It wasn't the same Krishna they know. Krishna here is dressed, as you can see in the picture of the Bhagavad Gita. He's got all this shiny armor, he's a king, helmet, he's riding a horse. And they're thinking like, and then what happens to Govinda? Because Krishna in Vrindavan is barefoot, cowherd boy. He's got peacock feather in his hair. He ties a belt in his waist. He's got his flute, bugle. And he's free to do anything and everything, move around. Now, very formal. Riding the horse. And they were feeling, we've come so close. But now, it's not the same. Like, at the stadiums, when the team is playing and when they're still in the middle field, nobody really is concerned. But as they come closer to the 18 area, and then the striker shoots. And sometimes he hits it and then it hits the crossbar, boom, and everyone, 60, 80,000, so they are almost getting Krishna back. But then, it's not him, doesn't feel like him, it's different. You can imagine that these gopis, they were criticizing Brahma. What type of creator is this? He has created eyes with these lids that blink. And every time we blink, we cannot see Krishna. So we are blinking. Do we even perceive that we're blinking? What to speak of feeling distressed that this blinking is obstructing our view of anything? Well, is there anyone that's so wonderful to see that blinking becomes a disturbance? No. But they are completely 100% lovers of Krishna. That they felt that one moment of not seeing Krishna because of blinking, Lord Chaitanya says, Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishaitam shunyaitam jagatsavam govinda viharename. That this moment of not seeing Krishna feels like a yuga. How long is a yuga? It is difficult to even comprehend for us. So in the translation he said, it feels like 12 years or more. You can think of 12 years. One split second of blinking. Now these are the same gopis who haven't seen Krishna in almost 100 years. So try to think how much separation has built up. So when they saw Krishna and then, it's not him, it's him, but it's just the mood is different. They couldn't tolerate that. They decided anyway, whoever he is, however he's been brainwashed in Dwarka and Mathura, we're going to grab him and we're going to drag him from Kurukshetra back to Vrindavan. So they put him on his chariot, they put Balaram, Subhadra. So Kurukshetra and Vrindavan is very, very long distance. But love of God creates this madness that they didn't estimate how far it is. We get worried. We have to drive down to Durban, Oh. No, I won't come this year to Rath Yatra, Prabhu. It's like it's so far, Durban. There are aeroplanes, there's buses, but there's no love of Krishna, no feeling of separation. That Rath Yatra is not, it's either I treat myself to good sleep or I go to Rath Yatra, same scale. Let me catch up on sleep. These residents, they didn't calculate, they wanted to take Krishna back. And mind you, the residents of Navadvip, to go to Jagannath Puri also, they were not taking buses or trains. They were walking there. So, anytime we think also, I've made the sacrifice, I took the bus, I came to Rath Yatra, just see, I'm a big devotee, I could have stayed and worked and make more money. Try to compare yourself to the residents of Navadvip. So, this Rath Yatra and this Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu went there to focus on his internal desire of experiencing love of Krishna through the mood of Srimati Radharani. And this particular festival is a concentration of that feeling of the residents of Vrindavan who are missing Krishna for so long, and that they are taking Krishna back to Vrindavan. And Krishna himself, who in Dwarka is daydreaming and is calling the names of the cows and the gopis in his sleep, who is unhappy because of this separation, also finally is seeing the residents, and he himself is in ecstatic separation from them. So Krishna is seeing Radharani and the gopis. He is in ecstatic love of and feeling separation from the gopis. They are feeling the same. So Mahaprabhu is gathering all his associates. Who are these associates? They are the same different eternal associates. They also expand with the Lord as he does different pastimes. He's forming all these kirtan parties to chant the name of Krishna. So all of them are going deeper into these loving exchanges. And so what is happening is that when Lord Caitanya is dancing so ecstatically, he jumps and he doesn't care to look where he lands. Sometimes he crashes on the floor. Boom. The hearts of the devotees are also breaking. But he dances so nicely, it said, Udanda Nritya. Sometimes he's jumping up like you see the sannyasis have their danda, like a stick. So Udanda, straight up, like the Maasai. You've seen the Maasai. So Lord Caitanya is the original Maasai. Hare Krishna, don't quote me. But they took a page out of Mahaprabhu's Udanda Nritya. Sometimes it said he's Madhurya Nitya. He's like in melted love of God, and so beautiful dancing, he's twirling. If you've seen Jagannath Maharaj dance at Rath Yatra, Very graceful, very beautiful. So Jagannath also, eyes wide, he's attracted, seeing this dancing of Mahaprabhu, that the chariot would stop. Many people trying to pull, it wouldn't move. Because the chariot actually is not moving because of our pulling. It is moving because of the sweet will of Jagannath. If he wants it to stop, it will not move. They even got at some point elephants, hooked them up to the chariot, tried to pull it. No movement. And Lord Caitanya, in competition, when he was feeling tired, now okay, Jagannath, you go, he came and just with his small finger touched the chariot and it starts to go. So this exchange of love and reciprocation is going on between Lord Jagannath, who is Krishna. In the eyes of Jagannath, when he sees Mahaprabhu, he's seeing Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani's mood in Mahaprabhu overwhelms the mood of Krishna, and so she's seeing Sham in Jagannath. So this exchange is going on. Sometimes he's dancing, it's a Tandava Nritya, like the devastating dance that Lord Shiva does at the end of the universe. That he would jump, and when he landed on the ground, the earth shook. So those with no faith, that's when they exit the WhatsApp group. How is one man shaking the whole planet? This thing of just believing. But he is the Supreme Lord. He's all powerful. And so this is the pastimes of Lord Caitanya and Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri. Before this Ratha Yatra takes place, then the festival of Snani Yatra, where the bathing of Lord Jagannath takes place, and so the devotees would see the Snani Yatra. And then after Snani Yatra, then Jagannath manifests fever and fluish symptoms, he's sick. So for 15 days, no one can see the darshan of Jagannath in the temple. At that time, the devotees, they go about 25 kilometers from Jagannath Puri to Alalnath. There's also deities of Jagannath. So Mahaprabhu also, he would go there. At that temple, there's a rock, a slab of rock, which has the imprint of the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is said that in the heat of separation from Jagannath, Mahaprabhu, as he was lying there, he melted that rock. Actually, we went to this temple of Alarnath. And generally in Orissa, as we heard, no one who is a non-Hindu is allowed in the temples. So we went there, and they told us, yes, you cannot come in. But then load shedding took place. When the power went, I was with a few devotees from the Philippines. Because we are not well behaved, we went in. When the power came back, we were right before the deity. And the pujari he was shocked. What can he do? Now we are here. So we got darshan of Lord Alarnath there. Anyway, in Jagannath Puri also we heard how the real devotees, the exalted devotees, are very humble. Rupa Goswami never went into the temple. In fact, they would walk at a distance from the temple. They didn't want that their shadows even would touch the servitors of Jagannath. They felt very low and fallen. That is the impact of love of God. That when one has love of God, then can see how great Krishna is and how insignificant one is. Anyway, we were there in Jagannath Puri some years ago, I think 2005. In South Africa, there was Ratha Yatra going on. And we were discussing how His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami by the grace of Lord Jagannath, was able to go into the temple, in fact, assisted by some of the pandas. So in our young enthusiasm, okay, we should also try and get into the temple. We went to the Simhadwara gate, the main gate. Well, the side gates we thought will be easier. But there they would catch us, no, you cannot come. I was like, no, only Hindus. I am a Hindu from Africa. No, sorry. Generally, I don't like to wear the cap of Hindu, but there I was. I'm a Hindu. They stopped us. We went to the back gate, stopped us, side, stopped. And then somehow I thought, anyway, let me just go to the front gate. I had this dhoti that I'd bought at Narottam, what's that? Is it a macro or something? There's a Muslim temple in Pretoria. They sell like cloth. Metro, yes. We went to Metro and they didn't really have the saffron that everyone has. I got some off color. And devotees used to always tease me, hey Prabhu, are you starting your own sampradaya? Every time it was that devotees, I have to answer all these questions. Anyway, it so happened that it was the saffron, local saffron in Puri. And clean shaved head. I was going there and I was doing the Hindu program. As soon as I see some panda, I'm touching something, So my head down, chada on my head, and somehow the other went into the temple. Boom, boom. Got in there and that darshan it's like a wave of just spiritual energy. Jagannath's huge on the wall there and offered whatever prayers could come. But the heart is beating very fast because I've heard many times that these pandas, they have sticks and they don't, whip you, they beat you. And so I was thinking how to get out of this temple now. Because inside there's many other temples. It's just like a mall, very busy. Now, if I wander off and I get lost, they're definitely going to get me. And no devotee was going to console me because they were going immediately, you rascal, Rupa Goswami never went there, all the great devotees, what's wrong with you, Haridas Thakur never. So it was really going to be my own problem. And sure enough, as I'm trying to figure out how to get out, some locals, because I tried to go back the same way, but there's like a river of people coming in. So if you're going, these mamas started to point at me, And I was like, what's going on? They're pointing. And then this panda came. He pulled the chada off my head. He was looking at me. He couldn't figure out, what type of person is this? And I'm just, then after some time he says, prison. I was like, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. And somehow the other, Jai Jagannath, in some pathways just started to open. I was walking, Jai Jagannath. And I made it out of that temple. Talk about I was finished scared. I didn't come close to that temple for the next 3 days. I was staying at the temple just looking at the flag from there. I didn't know if they're looking for me or anything. Anyway, Lord Jagannath, so merciful. Sometimes His mercy comes that you get sticks. Sometimes He protects you. So just to close, we'll tell you one pastime of a famous pujari in Jagannath Puri. His name was Talicha Mahapatra. Very devoted, dedicated to the service of Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. Every day, the king of Orissa would come to get darshan of the Lord. And after he got his darshan, he would ask the pujari to give him some Mahaprasadam, the garland of Lord Jagannath. So one particular day, the king was announced he's coming. And for some reason, Jagannath had not received the garland. And Mahapatra knew that after the darshan, the king will ask for the garland. And so he took the garland from his own neck and put it on Jagannath. Very beautiful garland made of these gew flowers. They are white and fragrant. And sure enough, the king took darshan, offered his prayers, and then requested for the Mahaprasadam. So Talita Mahapatra went and took the garland from Jagannath and gave the king. The king was very happy. He went off to his palace. And so in the evening, as he was sitting, he was gazing upon that garland. And when he looked at it, then he saw a long piece of hair, a strand of hair. So the king would say, this is odd. Why does the garland have hair? Jagannath has no hair on his head. Because he's an intelligent king, they don't put a mampara there. He immediately thought, aha, this pujari, he must have taken a garland from himself and put it on Jagannath to then give it to me. So he became so angry. He summoned for this Mahapatra. When he got to the king said, I found a piece of hair in the garland of Lord Jagannath. How is it that there's a piece of hair on the garland from Jagannath? Jagannath has no hair on his head. Pujari was panicking. He's praying inside, oh dear Jagannath, you must save me. Anyway, I have to lie to this king just to save my life. He said, no, you don't know that Jagannath has been growing his hair in the last few months. King said, really? Yes, he's been growing hair. He said, if you are playing games with me and you have given me a garland from your own neck with your own hair, I will finish you. I am coming tomorrow for darshan. And then I want to go and see this hair that you are talking about on Lord Jagannath's head. Okay, my king, yeah. You come tomorrow. So this Mahapatra left for his own apartment. There he was panicking. You know that type of fear where you can't even sleep. It keeps you awake. He had a cup of poison next to his bed. He was thinking, Jagannath, you have to save me because I'm finished. Everybody knows you have no hair. But now the king, I have told him you have hair and he's coming tomorrow. And he was thinking, give me some sign. So he's thinking whether to drink this poison, end the problem now, or should he wait to meet the same fate tomorrow when the king comes. Anyway, he fell asleep somewhere and he had a dream. Jagannath came in his dream. He said, why are you so afraid of this king? You are my servant. You are in Puri. I protect everyone here. Even if 1,000 kings, 1,000,000 kings came here, they cannot harm you. But Jagannath, you are like bold. You have no hair. What will happen tomorrow? He said, you rascal, you don't know. I have beautiful hair. My name is Keshava because I have beautiful black curly hair. You have not seen? And when he woke up, he was looking around. There's no one there. He thought, hey, maybe now I'm hallucinating because of fear of this king. In the morning, he went there early, much more early, to open the temple, to go in. And he went to the altar, opened, and when he looked, he found Jagannath had long hair up to his waist. Nice curly hair. And Mahapatra was like, Jai Jagannath. Fell down, worshipping the Lord. You are really the Lord of the universe. And the king also was thinking, this Pujari has become a rascal. He couldn't wait to go get his darshan. And when he came for the darshan, Mahapatra was extra confident and happy. My Lord, yes, he gave the garland. And then the king said, I want to know if you lied to me. He said, why would I do such a thing? Anyway, you go and see yourself. So the king went And he saw, wow, Jagannath has like such long, beautiful hair. And he thought, oh, this Pujari is trying to trick me. He said, have you stuck this hair on Jagannath's head with some sort of glue or this? No, my Lord, I haven't. So he went there. You check. He started yanking out some hairs. And as he pulled, some blood started dripping from Jagannath's head. He was shocked. Oh, I am such an offender. He passed out in fear of his offense. And when he came back to consciousness, he ran and fell at the feet of Talicha Mahapatra. Oh, you are such a great devotee. I didn't believe you that Jagannath had hair, but just see. And he could understand that on your account, Jagannath has manifested this hair. So in this way, the Lord, He protects His devotees. He protects. He says, I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. He becomes direct servitor of His devotees. We should be encouraged to see that when we have developed a loving attachment for the Lord, it's a two-way street. Love is a two-way street. Also, the Lord likes to reciprocate. And He will perform miracles on behalf of His devotee. That He agreed for Srila Prabhupada to take him everywhere on this planet. Reciprocating love. Prabhupada is a big Jagannath devotee. When he was young, he was performing Ratha Yatra. So, to reciprocate, Jagannath went all around the world, and we also had the opportunity. So Jagannath Puri is called Vipralamba Kshetra. It's the place where Lord Caitanya goes to really dive deeply into love and separation from Krishna. And there he manifested different amazing pastimes. He lived in the Gambhira, always crying for Krishna, always maddened by love of God. So the Ratha Yatra festival is a festival of celebrating this love in separation. From the residents of Vrindavan towards Krishna, Krishna towards the residents of Vrindavan. And as such, it is a great, great benediction that we get to practice this mood of feeling, thinking and remembering how we are also separated from Krishna and hankering to be in His association. So we'll stop there. Gantaraj, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande. Hare Krishna. There's a question. There's a microphone maybe coming.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for wonderful pastimes. Last year we follow Indra Maharaj on his Facebook page. He found a temple in Jagannath Puri that's an exact duplicate or replica of the Jagannath temple where he was invited to visit. So now we know there's a temple we all can go to. I think if you'll see it on his Facebook page, he's made a video of it.
Which Maharaj?
Indra Swami.
Indra Swami.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Indra Swami is blessed with transcendental pastimes and discoveries, and recently he posted the handwriting of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the wonderful class. And yesterday was a wonderful festival. We could tell by the numbers, the weather, the happiness of the people. And so my congratulations to all the organizers and everyone who came from far and wide to participate. I'm glad you brought up the point about, and yesterday also in the reading, about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being a bit organized in the kirtan. So not to put a damper on the enthusiasm, but it was a disaster, in my opinion. yesterday. One chariot, big crowds, congested, very little sense of musicality, lack of some kind of order, discipline, and no rehearsals. So I think we need to develop that. That's what I'm saying. It happened for a reason, and it's our biggest presentation of the whole year. So it's got to look good, it's got to sound good, you know. And devotees were happy because there was a lot of banging, but I could see a lot of the drummers were frustrated. And, you know, if we read into what is there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita carefully, you'll see that it was organized by Mahaprabhu. So that we tend not to do for some reason or another when it comes to the kirtan. So that's just I'm just looking at it objectively, and I go to quite a few Rath Yatras, and it's not a problem only here. It's not just a challenge here, but in many of our yatras. So to me, I see it's more like a devotee party. Once we do presentations on the stage, you know, whether it's bhajan or, you know, a talk or something, we're a bit organized about it. When it comes to the kirtan on the street, it needs some work. That's what I have to say. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. No, thank you much for bringing that up. I recall seeing you, you know, trying to manage the chaos also when you were chanting. And it's a fact, yeah, if it's a service, and then it should be done right. We should prepare. Thank you much.
This is a comment. Thank you for highlighting how Krishna is not a passive God, but he's very active in the devotees' lives. And to the point that he becomes so attached to the devotee that he goes out his way to reciprocate so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, Krishna is not a transcendental bellboy where we just ring him up to serve, but he has made a vow to protect his devotees, and he's eager to protect and serve those who he loves. It's interesting. Oh, there's one more. Yes, Baba.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, whenever there is classes, some of these things, they may somehow sound impractical, but there are things that we are experiencing every time. Is that when a person gives a class, you think, oh, these things just exist in a script, in the scriptures, but in real essence, it is also described that there is two ways where lovers can feel the deep affection for one another. It's when they are together and when they are separate. So now here we realize that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came himself to teach us and just to remember us that we can serve the Lord in a mood of separation, and he even showed us how to do so. So it was a very wonderful class. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So thank you, dear devotees.
His Grace Savyasaci Prabhu ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnava